And now I'd like to introduce Johnny Crowder.
Hello, my sweet friends. We're out of tissues now, so don't cry anymore after Logan's songs. Just hold it together for 10 more minutes, and you'll be fine. So my name is Johnny. Hi. 9 years ago, after countless unsuccessful attempts, my mother finally managed to drag me into a therapist's office. And I fought her every step of the way. Did I hear voices? Did I hallucinate? Was I delusional? Did I count my steps, avoid cracks in the sidewalk, carry hand sanitizer with me everywhere I went, on a belt loop thing, and crank out excuses for fist bumping people instead of shaking hands? The voices in my head would say, no, you're fine. Keep going on this path. You're crushing it. You're really good. But looking back, all of those things were true. And I can look back and answer this question honestly: did I want to kill myself morning till night, day in and day out, with every fiber of my being? So the doctor sat me down and handed me a laundry list of diagnoses, a mile long. It was like the whole alphabet. And I stared at the floor as he tried to give me the whole, you're pretty jacked up, dude, but we can help speech. But I was way too busy trying to make sense of what I was being told. Schizophrenia? Are you serious? Don't those people get locked up for life? And aren't bipolar folks the ones bashing their heads through windows and yelling at 7-Eleven cashiers because they're out of Black and Milds? That's not me, is it? I don't need to wear a straitjacket, do I? I felt doomed. I felt helpless. So helpless that all I could do was allow healthy people with diplomas on their walls pump me full of medicine until I was too bloated to roll out of bed. And I trusted them to an extent, but there was a part of me that needed to know more. So I pursued a degree in psychology, dead set on learning more about what was really wrong with me. And I learned a few things. Depression? Yeah, that's a real thing, scientifically with neurotransmitters and all of that junk. It's measurable. It's not just some sad girl sitting on a couch double fisting Ben and Jerry's because her boyfriend dumped her. And schizophrenia? It's not just some drunk homeless dude whispering sweet nothings into the ear of his invisible roommate. And bipolar? Yeah, mood swings aren't just for steroid users and pubescent teens. And OCD isn't just a plot point in the TV show Monk, although I used to watch it every day. It's not as simple as we as a people have made it out to be over years and years of generalization, and it affects a far greater percentage of the human population than we like to acknowledge. Donna said 20%, 1 in 5, that's unreal. And whether we realize it or not, and most of the time we don't, we're conditioned from birth to understand certain things in a skewed, inaccurate, yet universally accepted light. So aliens want to probe us. Ooh, hot dogs are an acceptable entree. College is mandatory to achieve success in any field, and the list goes on. Our cultural norms teach us from our unwitting and impressionable youth into our adulthood, where we then pass on our practices to our children, what and how and why to think. Let me describe the prevailing image of a mentally ill character in any form of media, TV, movie, magazine, novel. Disheveled, frantic, unkempt, with a thin line separating their instability from full-blown psychosis. And we hear the news about murderers and rapists pleading insanity to escape the charges of heinous crimes. And the social stigma associated with any psychological disorder is so debilitating that we are systematically scared into suppressing them altogether. We hide them from the view of others to rescue ourselves from insensitivity, judgment, and discrimination. And people shouldn't have to admit that they're depressed, because an admission implies fault or wrongdoing. And as a community, we wouldn't feel so ashamed about speaking openly about our own mental health if the assumption of our society didn't associate the whole subject matter with lesser intelligence, sloth, violence, and a slew of other negative images. Contrary to popular belief, the people you see as sick are among the strongest humans alive. So yeah, I've got a few screws loose. I'll be the first to say it. But in spite of everything you just learned about me and the conclusions your brain automatically drew, I'm great with children. I hold the door open for the person behind me. I say yes, sir, and no, ma'am. I am a person. Surprise. Is it possible that some things are more difficult for me to deal with considering what's going on mentally? Like finding a parking spot at this place? That is possible that it is harder for me, but it's probably hard for you too. But no diagnosis and no label and no category and no list and no medication and no doctor has the power to pigeonhole or limit me. Because I know who I am. I just told you, I'm a person. I'm a human being. And so are you. We're routinely stereotyped to be irresponsible, untrustworthy, loopy, absent-minded, and even dangerous. But I bet if I didn't say this out loud, you wouldn't have a clue that I was any different from you or your friends or anybody else. And I'm just tired of hiding. I feel like we all are. I'm mentally ill, and I don't care if the whole world knows it. In fact, I kind of hope the whole world hears, besides like my boss and the girls who I will meet, their parents and stuff like that. Like, I hope they don't find out, but I hope everybody else hears. And I guess my whole point in saying all this is I'm not scared of labels anymore. They don't define me, and they never could. And there's nothing wrong with me or you or any of us. So thank you for listening.